Emily Spins It. I'm Emily, and our guest today is Aria. Hi, Aria. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming. So you are a lifelong musician based here in New York.
Yep.
You primarily play the violin and guitar as well as singing.
Yes, I haven't played the violin in a long time,
okay.
but it definitely led me to where I am today.
That was your first instrument, right?
First instrument, played for like 15 years, so
Wow.
it definitely is a part of.
Yeah.
But I haven't picked one up in a while. Sometimes I'm like, oh, could I still play? I think
you
15
could.
years, right? Like
muscle memory.
Right? I think so.
Yeah.
I actually think of all my notes in terms of the violin, so I think that means something. I just don't have one anymore.
Probably, yeah. I tried to play the violin for like 8 years and couldn't, so I'm impressed that you did.
I think my mom.
It's
4 years old.
I have to say, like, when you're a kid and you have to go to music lessons, you're like, ugh. But as an adult, I'm so mad I didn't stick with
Yeah,
music lessons.
that's why she did it, because her parents never made her play an instrument. She's like, I'm making my kids do it.
No, it's the move. Like, I have a keyboard in my apartment, and I'm, like, very...
I don't know how to play that, so...
Well, it's not that hard. I feel like compared to violin, I think you could probably pick it up.
Maybe, yeah.
So you're based in New York, but you also play around the DMV area, is that right?
Yeah. My parents are in Arlington, so anytime I'm there, they have such a wild group of fun friends that anytime I play, they like sell out the house. So I'm like, okay.
That's actually adorable.
It's great. It's great.
You've listed your main collaborators as Daniel Berger and Jason Still.
Mm-hmm.
And your lyrics are about your queer identity, your trans identity, love, and battling anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a little fun fact is you were on American Idol.
Yes.
What was that like? Yeah, right?
Oh, no, one of my artists is on American Idol in 2023.
Yeah.
I went with her.
Yeah.
So trans.
Yeah.
She was episode 2, Maddie Mars.
Oh, it was tough. Yeah, I did it in 2018.
Okay.
So I was a junior in high school.
Oh my god.
Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, and Lionel Richie.
That's who it was. Right?
Yeah.
Lionel Richie would be a cool.
Yeah, he was the one I was really.
So nice.
Yeah, he was super nice. It was definitely just. It was a lot to be in school. I had to miss a lot of school. My dad had to like call out of work and take me everywhere, and like they didn't really pay for your flight, so it was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to Denver. Sorry, I'm missing my final. And then, they flew you out to 3 different auditions before you go to the actual thing. And you don't, I had to do one in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then I did a video audition, and then I had to go to Colorado to do another one, and then I went to LA to meet the judges. So they don't show any of that on TV. They make you think that people walk in and they just thought your time. I'm like, no, I've got through so many of these. But it was different. It was a great experience. Yeah. But I knew when I went into the judges, I was not crushing this. I didn't hit any note. And they like angle up the stage so the judges are like looking down on you a little bit. I said, this is not my day. This is not my day.
What is the first show you remember attending?
Oh, attending.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, funny enough, it was an American Idol.
Me too.
No way.
Yes. My grandpa used to buy us tickets for the whole family.
Yes, it was. I was such an avid American Idol viewer when I was little.
Yeah.
And that we would all as a family watch it, and I was like, I'm gonna be on that show. And like watching it when I was so young, and so my parents surprised me with a top 10. It was Phil Phillips' year. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I don't think I did that year. We did like Carrie Underwood's year.
I mean, that's like amazing. That's great.
Yeah, and then maybe
it's one up me right
years
there.
after that. But yeah, we were done. We were not doing it by the time Phil Phillips came on. But okay, I know exactly what you mean. Though.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was great. We saw the top 10 do their thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Phil Phillips was battling something. So he was super like sick, but he came out and sang at the very end, and I was like, wow, kudos to you, because he apparently was really going through it.
That's
but I really loved him as a kid. I just thought he was so funky and could with the guitar. I don't know. But yeah, I think that was my first real show.
That is so fun. I mean, like we did like kids theater shows growing up, but my first like concert in a venue was also an American Idol show. That is
that's
so
crazy. I feel like that's
funny.
not usual.
No, I usually just say it was Avril Lavigne, because most of the time people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is the first show you ever performed?
So that I was around 15.
Okay.
And there was this bar in Fountain Hills, Arizona, and it was called Grapables, and it was a wine bar, and I was not allowed inside because I'm 15. But they really liked my music, and so they'd have me walk around. Yeah. And I'd play outside in the patio.
That's so cute.
And there'd be no kids there or anything, but my parents would be there, and they'd bring their friends, and it's like around a fountain, and I would just play. I remember I had a little iPad, or a Nook, I think is what up with the lyrics for all the covers that I'd play, and like the guitar was way too big for me. And,
that's adorable.
Yeah, there's so many videos. I can't watch it. I'm like in a dress. I haven't worn a dress in like over a decade, but it's fun to watch. I'm like all dolled up and
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that was my first real like my show where I felt like there was a beginning and an end, and I
Yeah.
had to play some of my own songs covers.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a true performance.
Yeah,
So
I
your
know it's
parents
like a gig, but it was
always been
felt-
really supportive then.
Oh,
Of-
yeah.
Like, that's adorable.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
I tell everyone I'm just so lucky to have them because they've never once enforced my career in any
That's
way.
awesome.
They saw that I liked music and they
Yeah.
put me into lessons and it's such a luxury and I'm just so lucky.
It's
So
like Charlie XCX's parents taking her to
Oh, I
raves.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah, when she was a kid, they would take her to raves to play.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That
Mhm.
makes sense. That's
Yeah.
crazy. They definitely didn't take me to a rave.
No, but
but
they did at least take you to the wine bar.
They took me to the wine bar. We got crazy there. But yeah,
What
they've
was-
always been amazing.
That's really special and actually, like, honestly, not as common as it should be.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Who would you say gave you your first break?
Um, in terms of like playing a big show.
Yeah, like where was the first time you maybe felt like, oh, this is like a standout moment in my career as a musician?
Yeah, I feel like there's so many, and I don't think that they all amount to. It just depends on how you define it.
Sure.
Like, I feel like a lot of the times my parents have given me like my big break,
Yeah.
just like with finding resources. But I will say, there was somebody who my dad had met. He's a doctor, and so he had met someone in the hospital who happened to be. He took care of her mom,
Mhm.
and she happened to be like really within the music community and helped artists kind of find themselves and that kind of
Oh
thing.
wow.
And so being the dad that he is, he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, my kid, they're really good," and like, because she was like, "Is there anything I can do to repay you?" And he was like, "Well, it's kind of my job to like
Yeah.
take care of everyone, but if you want to help out my kid, here's their stuff. Like
Yeah.
this is their music." And I was so young, so I didn't really have a portfolio or anything.
Yeah.
But she ended up like helping me out, and she introduced me to a producer in New York, Stanley Brown. He produced my first ever song in New York, and
Oh.
I like came out to New York, and it was like a great.
Yeah.
It was my first time in a studio,
Yeah.
and it was all these dudes mixing, and it was so cool.
Love.
And so I think that was a moment where I was like, "Whoa, like
Yeah.
this feels big," you know.
Yeah.
And I think since then I've kept going for the bigger things, you know.
That's a pretty
I
great
was like
early
17,
story.
so I
Yeah.
feel like it felt so wow.
Well, it feels defining. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
exactly.
I mean, I think break is tricky because sometimes it is a bunch of little ones.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that they're all.
They're all
lead up to
great.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
That's
but I think
cool.
that moment was like, oh, I'm meant to be in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, this is so fun. you
Well,
know?
okay, so this flows into my second question.
Mhm.
You started playing violin at 4. You wrote your first song at 13.
Mhm.
But when did you decide music was really your path?
It's a great question. Honestly, I think it was always so clear. Like
Yeah.
I was the kid that was doing singing battles at like 5, you know. Meet me in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like seriously, that is who I was. Like so obnoxious, but it was always so clear to me and everyone around me that this person's always gonna have music around them, and they're always gonna be making music. I think once I wrote my first song, 'cause
Yeah.
I remember the moments I would sing other people's songs all the time,
Sure.
right? And do karaoke and sing along in the car and like do these voice lessons. But I was like, oh, can I get that next step of
Mhm.
actually writing music?
Right.
Because I think that really defines,
Yeah.
the industry in a lot of ways.
That's actually when my music career ended. Was I couldn't
Mhm.
write. I just didn't have the brain to do it.
Right,
so
and but, I mean,
agree.
there's a space for that too. But I really like wanted to see, yeah, which is great, amazing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I wanted to be like like a star,
Yeah.
and I still do. And I think that was the next level for me. So the minute I was able to put, pen on paper,
Mhm.
that was when I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's when it felt like I've arrived.
I can
Yeah.
do this, And I think so. Since that was at 13, I think I really knew that it was going to be a big part of my life, and it's always gonna be my plan A. Like I do
Mhm.
other things, I work, and,
Yeah.
but I prioritize
Music.
music as much as humanly possible while still, being able to make money,
Yeah.
survive.
I feel you there.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's really big. Speaking of karaoke, what are your like top karaoke songs?
Ooh.
This says a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah. that's a great
always
question.
pull out Adele.
Okay.
I do. I'm like, I'm gonna cook. If I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna cook.
No, I
Let's
agree.
do it.
Why would karaoke's not a time to be shy?
No,
Yeah.
and I love it, and I love pissing off my friends because they are like, of course Aria's gonna do Someone Like You.
I'm upset. Emily and I sang "Please, Please, Please" by Sabrina
Oh,
Carpenter.
that's good.
And people were like, "Oh,
please turn it off. Like,
Oh,
No.
and then I can go to the bathroom.
No, but that's the
no,
beauty of
there's a
karaoke.
reason we're like suits side of the industry.
That's so funny. Yeah, and I pull out of someone like you. I also do like a crazy Gnarls Barkley. That's a
Oh, that's a
for
fun
me,
one too. Yeah.
Love on the Brain.
Oh wow, that's my
Okay,
roommate's
so you
baby.
just really go.
I love a big
Beautiful,
vocal.
fun, excited.
Yeah,
Something about karaoke, I'm just like, why not belt it? Like we're all drunk and
I
everyone's
agree.
having a good
No,
time.
karaoke's like not the time to be shy.
No, I'm not going to.
No,
Hey,
I'd
you know what, Emily? Why don't we just belt it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Belt
what we
it.
should have done.
Just belt it.
Yeah, maybe that's why I can't.
What is
say
how?
I'm not belting it loud enough.
Maybe.
That's great. That's a great extra question.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You've said playing live is your favorite part about being a musician. So what about
Absolutely.
it do you love?
I just feel like you can't. I think the best part about being a musician is connecting with your audience, and
Sure.
I can't do that over the phone.
No.
Everything's so digital now, and
Yeah.
I don't know how the other person's feeling, but that feeling of making eye contact with somebody or like seeing someone really feel the music, or even after the show, someone coming up to
Yeah.
you, is what it's really about, you know. And I think I'm reminded every time that happens why I do it.
Sure.
You know, it's really truly to connect with people, even when it's like a fun song that I'm singing or like a fun original song that doesn't have to do with the topics you listed that are like more like heavy and
Yeah.
serious. You know, music makes people feel things and sometimes just makes them feel happy. And I love being able to see it on their face, you know, and
That's
I love
really
being able to
sweet.
see like people dance to my music, even if I'm just playing a cover, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can't beat playing on stage. And I think that's what music's meant to be, is to be shared, you know.
It's definitely a shared experience. It
Yeah.
should be.
Even like, I mean, not even stage, like I think some of my favorite moments playing are like in my friend's living room, you know, and they like bring their friends over, or when there's like a house party and someone sees a guitar and they're like, oh, Aria, do you want to play something? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Actually.
Yeah, I play a little.
Well, since you asked.
And I love being that person,
Yeah.
because ultimately people are gonna have a good time, and then
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
great.
So follow up to that.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for an artist who's got like stage fright and is really afraid to get on stage?
Stage fright. Yeah, it's tough. I think because I was performing from such a young age, I was able to kind of skip that part where I'm not super scared. But I do think, and it's, you know, people say it all the time, but I do think it's true, is really pretend you're playing it in your room.
Mhm.
You know, the way that you play. I have moments all the time where I don't feel like I have stage fright, but I get up on stage and all of a sudden I'm like, what if I forget the words to my next song? I'm like, it's my song.
And if I forget it, oh well. Like,
no one's gonna know. Like, I don't know. I think we take ourselves a little too seriously because we want to perform the best of our abilities,
Sure.
and that's great. Like, you know, it's great to care that much about the quality. But I think about how I feel when I'm in the audience and someone messes up on stage. Am I ever like, wow, get a load of this
I'll
guy?
leave. Yeah, I guess it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, never. I'm like, come on, pick it up. You sounded
Yeah.
great, you
Yeah,
know?
it's
And
all
like,
good. Yeah.
odds are everyone else feels that way too.
Mm.
So I think that's my go-to advice. Just, it's not that serious. People mess up in Madison Square Garden, you know?
Yes.
And you know, you
just keep going.
You're always gonna mess up. I mean, nothing's perfect. Nothing that's good is ever perfect, you know?
Yeah.
It just makes you more human and approachable. So I feel like you take the stress off of it being a mistake, and it's
Mhm.
actually just a part of the experience.
That's great advice. What's been your most memorable performing experience?
Yeah, I think I have a couple for this.
Okay.
I used to, during college, I used to do these open mics at it was called Parkside, I think, and it's like on Houston somewhere in Lower East Side. And it was great during college because I felt like I couldn't really like book shows and stuff because I was so busy. But it was a great, like, okay, Tuesday nights I'm gonna show up here and I'm gonna meet some musicians and play my songs. And this was like kind of one of the first times, you know, I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's like coming to New York, really a journey of finding myself, and my music really kind of like opened up to a lot of like my queerness, and like, my lyrics became a lot more about that. And I wasn't so scared to, you know, drop a she, her pronoun. And like, yeah. And by that point I looked pretty gay anyway. So it's like, it's not really surprised anybody. But I remember this was like one of the first times playing a song live. I don't remember what song it was, but a queer couple had come up to me afterwards and just was like, oh, it was so nice, like hearing a song that we felt like we could completely relate to. And I just remember that. I come back to that
That's
moment all the
special,
time.
yeah.
It's so special. And since then, it's happened countless times, but I remember the first time it happened because it was at that open mic and I was like, this is what you do it for, you know? It's like, and it wasn't a song that was super like you know, anyone could kind of look past it, where they wouldn't even gather that it was anything queer or anything like that. But to them, they caught on to it,
Yeah.
you know, because they're
Yeah,
searching,
resonated with
yeah,
them, yeah.
they're searching for that piece of being able to relate to a piece of work, and they were
Yeah.
able to do that, and so it was great. It was like really nice to hear that. Oh, you know,
Hmm.
I can play these songs, and for some people, it's just, you know, good music, and for other people, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been searching for a song that makes me feel seen. So I think that was one that was great, and since then, you know, people have come up to me in different ways, and it's been truly very meaningful. But I think the most recent experience was I play at a place called Madam's Organ in DC. And funny enough, my parents used to party there when they were younger. They definitely still party there today. They're party animals for sure. But they're like, oh, it's so funny that Aria got a gig here because we used to like drink here back in the day. But I recently played a show there where my entire extended family all were there for Thanksgiving, and I happened to get booked for a show that weekend. So there's videos of like my grandparents, both sets there, dancing with each other, all the little cousins. They were able to like sneak in. They're like ranges 8 to 16, you know, and it was just so amazing being up on stage and being like, who gets to do this? Like, I get to play my music to my entire family right now. Like, I just felt so blessed. Like, I felt really so grateful, and I'll always think about that moment.
I believe, that's really, really sweet. Because obviously you can play for them in your house, but playing for them in like a venue with like proper,
like
I don't know, lighting matters. Like it just feels
right.
more
I had a band up there, you know, and like
Nice.
I feel like they've seen me play since I had a cardboard violin because I was too little to hold a real one. And so I'm like, you've seen me play in the most casual spaces, and now you're seeing me play at a full-on bar packed in DC on a Saturday night. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever top it, honestly.
No, that's really, really special. That's so like precious, actually.
Like even if I sell out a stadium one day, I still think that'll be my favorite show.
I love that. Okay, you've listed Kehlani, Georgia Smith, and Bad Bunny as some of your favorite artists. What about them specifically inspires you?
It's so funny because no one ever thinks they hear my music and they're like, interesting.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I love Bad Bunny personally.
They're great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I'm, you know, more like folksy and alternative in my music.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
like,
but I think that that's like what's great. I think some of the best writing ever is in R&B music.
Okay, I can see that.
So I feel like Kehlani, I think something about, I mean, I just love their sounds. Like they're so fun. And I think a lot of what I listen to is because I write so seriously.
Yeah.
It's really nice to listen to music where I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, like especially Bad Bunny. Like I feel like I can, and he's made some very serious masterpieces, I will say.
Yes.
And he does a great job of like standing up for what's right. And I think that that's really admirable, and I think every artist should do. And so I think I take these little things from each of these artists, but I do think because I spend so much time kind of writing sad songs and being sad, it's nice to listen to music where I'm just like, yeah, I'm bust a move. Although Georgia Smith is also sad, and like together we can be sad.
Someone's got to like ground you.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. I think Kehlani's written one of the best R&B records in a long, long time.
That's great.
Yeah, and
I'm actually not super familiar with her, but I've heard only good things.
Highly recommend.
Yeah,
she's also just a hustler. She's been at it for so long, and she just won her first Grammy. And I just remember like seeing her when I was in high school, and thinking she's a star. And I'm like, why is no one else thinking she's a star? And now she's finally getting her flowers. So
you're like, I knew her way back when.
Yeah, no, she's amazing.
What else do you draw inspiration from?
Everything. I think a lot of it really is.
All right.
Like, and Doug next I think if you listen to my music, you'll see there's a lot of just like classically themes of relationships and love, and I think that that's just, you know, one of the easiest things to write about. I've also had like my recent fair share of heartbreak, and like I feel like that really lends to a good song. It's true, you know. It is like the only upside, I think, where I was like, yep, I'm writing a banger, but I'm sad. So I do think that that's like a big part that lends into it. But also like I really am in touch with, it's taken a while, but to really voice things like, you know, like how can I write a really cool, enjoyable song, but about like excruciating anxiety? You wouldn't know, you know. And I do, and I write these songs, and I think it's great when people are like, "Oh, this is like a great song." I was like, "Thanks." It was about crippling anxiety. I'm glad you really enjoyed listening to that.
Glad you didn't really get it,
you know. And then sometimes, actually, if we had like my voice memos leaked, it would be like ridiculous because it's like, it's often a super groggy, sleepy voice that you wouldn't be that I never am able to interpret, but I do wake up with tunes in my head.
Oh wow.
And I don't know if it's like part of my dream or something, but it does. There's always a tune in my head at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh dang it. And I wake up and like whisper something. And I'm not
Guess
able
we'll
to
record
interpret the
it,
next day. So I guess my dreams are
Hey,
inspiration
you know what? In your dreams, process what you do all day. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I love a good story. Like if I hear a cool story or like I studied abroad in Cuba.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be then.
No way.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. So I took a film class there and
Mhm.
we watched a film. It was about the Cuban Revolution. It was about these two brothers who were on different sides of the revolution. And that was like an example of something I was like, oh, I read a song about this.
Yeah.
Like, this is so crazy. Like, for blood or for the country, like that kind of thing. And so that's another thing that I draw like inspiration from, are really cool stories in
Sure.
people's lives, and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So let's say those are the main topics.
Okay. Your most recent release, Busy, came out earlier this week. Right?
Yeah,
Just a few
Friday.
days ago.
Yep.
Friday.
Yep.
What was the inspiration for this track?
Yeah, Busy. It's so funny that this is the song that ended up coming out before
Yeah.
this interview, because it's like
It's not sad, that one.
It's not sad. No, it's like a fun one.
Yeah.
I'd always put out sad songs, and I'm like, you know what? I had this song written for a while, and it's like, you know, it's like a getting busy with somebody song, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I never want my listeners to think that I'm not gonna switch it up on them. And I
Like,
had,
keep everybody on their toes.
you know,
Yeah.
like I went through a breakup over a year ago, and so they were getting fed with those sad songs,
Yeah.
and I have sad songs ready to go post
Mhm.
Busy. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sandwich. I'm gonna put Busy out. Let you guys know that like I'm still fun and I'm having fun, and then hit you with another sad song. And it's funny because I'm not really having fun, but Busy. I'm not. I wrote Busy like 2 years ago when I was having fun.
Oh, okay. Sure.
You know? And so I was like, let me let you guys think that I'm having the time of my life right now.
Yeah,
But
we're
I'm
just gonna
not.
fake it till we make it.
Yeah, but it's fun because like Busy was one of those songs that I was like, because it's not like this super meaningful song and it's more of like this fun song that I wrote in a day, I brought it to Dan, to my producer, and I was like, what do you want to do with this? And
Yeah.
I think he loves that too, because he gets to be super creative, and
Yeah.
I kind of give him the floor.
Yeah.
And we just got really like funky with it, and like he's a great bassist, so he threw some super cool bass lines in there, and I think it's great. We have live trumpets in there. It's so
Oh, love that.
it's
I
so
mean, I
fun.
did listen to it, but I didn't catch the live trumpets.
Live trumpets at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll do it again.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
You
right?
said like so much about sad music, and I was like,
No, that one wasn't it. But I sent you another sad song for sure.
you did, yeah. So okay, all right, we're gonna take a quick listen to Busy.
Hands are getting weak. I think I need a little time to get busy. Clothes are falling down. I think I need a little time to play around. Nails in my back, feeling the heat. So on your skin, but you taste so sweet. Text piling up, somewhere I need to be. Phone on silent, tell them that I'm busy. I'm getting busy with you. Oh, you're getting busy with me.
All right. Well, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
The other song you brought today is "Wishing Well," so that is a sad track.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Sad
talk about that
yeah.
one?
Yeah, so this is relating to the breakup I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Which was a little over a year ago, and it was sad. I met her in Cuba, and so she was part of my study abroad program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it was just like, it was one of those breakups where it's like, it wasn't that anything bad had happened, but we were long distance, and it just
that's
different
the
paths.
worst.
I think that's worse,
Yes,
right?
you can't be mad.
I couldn't
You're
be
like, I guess
mad.
I'll just be sad.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
right,
the worst kind of
exactly.
breakup.
I think it was like the first time it really felt like that.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like going through the motions. And Wishing Well was kind of one of those songs that's like what it's like to have kind of one of those breakups that's like maybe right person, wrong time
Yeah.
kind of vibes. And I don't think there's one right person, but
No.
that feeling
Sure.
of like that there wasn't one thing that made it wrong. So I think when you go through something like that, that feeling of also wishing them well, but not really being able to tell them. So that's what wishing well is about, and kind of like also with whispers of like maybe we can be together again, that kind of thing. And that's like a very wistful
Yeah.
that kind
Well,
of song.
ending it on a note where it's like we don't hate each other.
Yeah,
so
right.
We can maybe revisit when the timing is
Maybe,
right.
yeah.
But-
And also just like to make sure that like it's okay to like go through a breakup and still really want the best for the other person.
Yeah.
And I think that's not vocalized enough in music, because it is really, I'm a key your car, you know?
Yeah.
And which is really valid a lot of the time.
First time I ever felt like that sentiment was the case was when Thank You Next came out, because people were like, haha, breakup song. I'm like, actually, she's being really genuine about how
that's
she's
a great
thankful.
example.
Like that, I had also at that around that same time gone through a breakup with someone who, it just wasn't the right match, and so we couldn't hate each other. And I was really thankful, but I agree with you. I think that sentiment is represented so infrequently that people tend to miss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's about that, and it's also just like missing somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like kind of painted with like little moments that we had. So yeah, I don't know if she's listened to it, but
well, she can now. We'll play it right here.
Is telepathy real? I really hope so. Sending you messages from my home, hoping that they get to you. They clear as day and nothing but true. I see you when it's dark, tucked in the last bed, the last bed I ever did see you in. Would have given you one more kiss. Forehead was just how you liked it, and I'm wishing you well. I can't tell you. Can't you tell that I'm wishing you well? I can't tell you, but can't you tell?
Hi, welcome back. You might have noticed we're at a different venue. The library closed. So we cheers. So we relocated to Underhill in Brooklyn. We're sitting outside. It's a beautiful night. I will just say we recorded the game already in the library because they had the big screen. So we will cut back to that. I don't want to alarm anybody, but that is what's happening. Was there a song you really loved as a kid that left an impression on you?
yeah, actually, there's a really funny story. I don't really remember this moment that much, but my parents love to tell me
Okay.
that. So I grew up in New Orleans. There's a time I was 3 or 4, and my brother was like a baby. And at that point, my parents had got me this like super like bright pink little personal radio player, like a CD player. And at the time, I was streaming Like a Virgin album, Madonna.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently, the only song though that I would listen to on repeat was Material Girl, because I thought that it was called Cheerio Girl, and I loved Cheerios. And so I was like, oh my god, this track's about me. And I would just like be playing that nonstop. I don't remember being so like this song being like so special to me.
Impactful, yeah.
But I have this memory of this one chaotic day where my CD scratched and I could not play the track. And of course, at the time, my brother was having a 1-year-old tantrum.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom
You
like
to
trying to
escape
change
Cheerio
him
Girl.
and like figure it out. And I was like, Mom! And I was like running in through the room. And I was like, Cheerio Girl's not playing. And
Your
like,
mom having a terrible time. You having a terrible time.
it was horrible. And my brother clearly having a terrible time. Like, and so I think that story is so funny because I don't really listen to Madonna anymore. Shout out.
Yeah.
Like I was definitely like, I was listening to a lot of Michael Jackson as a kid, loved
Sure.
Adele, Ed Sheeran as I was growing up.
Yeah.
But apparently that Cheerio Girl right there, that really stuck with me.
That's a phenomenal story, and I just
Right.
like I can picture like as a kid I can picture like my thing's not working, but like as an adult I can picture like your mom's probably like overstimulated.
Oh my
so
god!
much is
Yeah, and I
going
know
on.
specifically that my dad was not home.
Yeah.
Classic. Like he just was not home.
So your mom was like,
My
"Oh my
mom's
god!"
battling it out with us.
Your mom's
booked
like, look, I got patience. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Your mom like then went online and like looked at tickets to like the Bahamas and just wistfully sighed.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But to this day, we call it Cheerio Girl.
That's
And
so
we-
adorable.
yeah. When it plays on the radio, we're like, yeah, living in a
This is
Cheerio
about
world.
me. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because that makes so much sense.
How did you meet your current collaborators?
Yeah, actually, it's a great question. So I started doing So Far Sounds about a year ago. I don't know if you've
okay.
heard of them, but
Yeah.
basically the way that they work is they, you kind of audition a little bit. You send in you apply, and then if you get in for your city, they will send you a gig with 2 other artists or 2 to 3 other artists, right, or bands, and you go, and then the people who are buying tickets don't know who they're going to see. So it's for music lovers, like people who want to see new musicians, you know? And so when I got in, I was like, oh, this is great. My dad had gone to So Far shows, and he was like, oh, Aria would be great at this. And so I applied to it, and I was doing it for a while. I think they're busy now, so it's not too much of what I do anymore. But through that, I met a lot of awesome musicians, and I met Dan he was playing bass for somebody else, and afterwards after I played, he was like, hey, you have a great sound. If you ever need a producer. And I was like, funny enough, I do need a producer. And so that worked well. And then also I had played a different So Far show with a couple people, and they had recommended their producer to me. And so I was like, great. Yeah. And so since then, I've had these different musicians play on my tracks, how we produce my tracks. So it's great. I think it is really hard in a big city. It's great in a big city to play, right? Like, there's so many music venues in New York City, and there is so much music and art, and that's one of the reasons I'm here. But I think it also is just so hard to make friends in music and like to meet people in music who are willing to collaborate with you. We all have our own thing going, and so I think I was really lucky to soak up those months with So Far Sounds, because now I have kind of a little network that I get to bring on the tracks and things like that. I actually just tracked a duet with somebody that I also met through a So Far Sound show.
Cool.
So that might come out maybe.
We'll see. Stay posted.
Right.
What advice do you have for artists trying to break through the noise?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, there's so many directions you can go with this one, and like I'm still learning and in a lot of ways new to this. But I do think remembering what and who you do it for goes a long way. Like, I've had so many moments within my career where I'm stuck with like, oh, I gotta make this post, and like I'm like, slow down, like this is what you love, like you do this because you love it, like don't let these moments take that away from you. And when I remember that that's what I do it for, I really slow down and take a step back. I also think like everyone wants to make it big, right? Everyone wants to sell out a stadium and like have something go viral, have their song in a movie. Like someone has that thing that they really want, and that's great. Like I think that's so important. Everyone needs to have that. But I also think the definition of make it big is always changing, and like you can define that for yourself. Like I think about if I were to tell 7-year-old me that you have music out on all platforms that people listen to, you play in venues with more than 50 people, people know your music and like know you for your music, I would be the happiest kid in the world, you know? And so I think that is something that I try to do for myself, and I think it's really helpful. So hopefully that reaches other young musicians, where think about 7-year-old you. Like, look how far you've come. You're so hard on yourself. Like, this is an impossible industry. Like, has so many ups and downs. But the things that you're already doing are already so cool, and they would be so cool to 7-year-old you. So I think that's my advice.
It was actually something Heather and I have spoken about at length, was when you were working for yourself and you're always striving to grow and grow and grow, you can get sort of jaded in the sense where you accomplish something that would have been cool to you 6 months ago, but right now you're like, okay, great, but now what? Yeah. And you have to really take the time to sit, and Heather's nodding at me off camera. You have to really take the time and sit with that and make sure you acknowledge it. And I think a lot of the time when you're hustling so hard because you're trying to survive, you do lose sight of that. And that's such a good point.
Emily tells me all the time, she's like yelling at me via text. She's like, celebrate your wins. Remember how cool this is. And I'm like, you know, you're right, because you're just flying through.
It's so easy.
Trying to compare to other people, like, okay, but they've reached this point, and it's like, I'm here. It's like, not that I haven't accomplished anything, but it's not fucking Madonna.
Also, that's okay. They were there too once, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it's like,
exactly.
Everyone's got their path.
And it's like, and these people still wanted to merge businesses with you, and these artists still want to work with you, or like, whatever it is. And it's like really being like, oh my God, yes, 6 months ago, me would have been like losing their shit. And it's like, you need to, well, when losing their shit, positive.
Well, when Heather brings on interns, and sometimes they'll ask us questions, and we answer the questions, and then they'll go home, and we'll be like, was that right?
And I'm like, why are they asking me for advice? And it's like, well, you do this, and it's like, you work in this industry, and it's like, it can be so, it can be so hard. I guess just to stay on the business side of it too, we feel the same.
No, I think it's something everyone should hear in any industry, I think. But it is really easy to look over. Even this, like, I'm doing a podcast. It's so cool. What the heck?
Someone said, maybe it was you. To me, we'll say it was.
Sure.
It was like, if you are in the room, you're meant to be there.
No, that wasn't me, but that is nice.
No, that's great.
It was you.
Okay. It can be now. I'm going to take it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
on
yeah.
camera.
That's your thing.
It's my thing now.
But it's so
Heard it
true.
here.
Whether you're whether it's a stage or whether it's a fucking boardroom or whatever, it's like if you're there, you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, I think we all struggle with imposter syndrome like all
Totally.
the
Oh my
time.
God.
And it's truly at this point, isn't it a syndrome? Like I think because we named it that, now people think it's this niche thing.
Exactly.
Hi. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus! Well, we got the
Oh, we're loaded.
we got the pita.
Pita.
And the halloumi.
Oh my God, the halloums.
Yum.
Thank you so much.
Wow, this is the best day of my life.
I know. I am keeping this whole thing in. This is the best news.
Wow,
Thank
this
you
is
so
the
much.
best news.
So forget the caviar, eat the halloumi now.
Oh
right?
yes,
Thank
oh of
you.
course.
Wait, really quick. What is your name and the name of your hotel? Let's put it on the
Oh,
podcast.
oh, okay.
Wait,
Go,
wait,
go
no,
there,
get
go
in
there,
the
it's
back
okay.
here. too. We're
come
filming.
back here.
Okay.
Come say hi.
Right, Tulipa.
Say hi.
Hello.
Is it Tulipa?
Tulipa Studios. Hios. CHIOS.
Yes.
Studios. Hios. CHIOS.
Oh my God, full of
Can I
his
spell?
I'm so excited for him saying it.
Yeah, go there. See the reviews and see the pictures.
It
I'm in a
smells so
booking
good.
dugout.
Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's gorgeous.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let
gosh,
me
how
see.
do we go there?
So we'll put this in post.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous.
Let me see.
It's beautiful. So you own this hotel? Of course. I have one more question actually, and then we're done.
Okay.
What is your music industry hot take?
Oh. Yes. I think that while there are so many more opportunities for people to spread their art because we have things like TikTok and Instagram and all of like this video media, which I think is great, I do also think that that moment of being on stage and performing live, the value that being on stage and connecting with a live audience brings and how special that is to artistry, I think has really been stripped nowadays because of all this media. And I don't think it's anyone's fault. Like, we have this media, why not use it? But I do think the pendulum has been pushed so far over to the other end. Like, how can we even it out a little bit? Because as somebody who really, I think, excels at being on stage, I really struggle to figure out, okay, what's going to connect with my audience on TikTok and on Instagram. And I'm trying, you know, and I don't want to take away from that because I think people really have cracked that and they're wonderful. And I think that some artists have really been, you know, found out because of these types of media, which is great. But I also think that what happened, I think sometimes it's gone too far. Like, we got to strip it down a little bit. And I think that a lot of times artists nowadays don't even have the experience of, you know, performing live or even doing an open mic, you know, like some of these things that I think are like building blocks to being a musician. And so, yeah, that's my hot take. I don't know if it's that hot, but yeah, I think we're all like navigating this new digital world, you know.
I don't know if you guys can even hear this, but that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
You just missed gold.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really good. Send me money to buy better microphones if you
Yes.
couldn't hear this.
And like maybe like a studio. But
Yeah, also like maybe enough for studio with soundproofing. But we're having a great time. So okay, that was my last question. I agree with you. It goes back to what you said in the beginning about why you love performing live so much, because there's that actual interpersonal connection.
Yes, exactly.
And I've spoken about this a few different ways now where I think we as a society are actually so starved for connection and so starved for community because we think like, oh, social media can be a stand-in for that. And although it does help connect people across spaces more,
Yeah, it does.
it doesn't fill in for the true interpersonal
Yeah,
relationship.
and I think it definitely has its great moments. Like, one of my songs got not really big, but like got a bunch of streams in Turkey.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Love.
Um,
When would you have otherwise
because
played in
someone
Turkey?
had heard it on a radio station or something, and I got picked up from one of my TikToks. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like that wouldn't have been able to happen before. So I'm
Exactly.
super grateful for that. But I do think that because
Still
of
have to
how
go
much
outside.
value we give to the video media and to like streams and followers and all these things, we're missing like so much artistry.
Yeah.
You know, and I think some of those platforms really bring those to life. Like that guy who goes around on the street in New York, I don't remember his name, but he goes around and he has this little studio thing. It's all on his
Yes,
back.
I know exactly who you're talking
He's
about.
amazing, right? And he really like uplifts so
Yeah.
many artists that he just randomly runs into. That's a great use of media, right? But when it comes down to the numbers and just like the only thing that you need to have for someone to look at you, That's not.
Art shouldn't be like a qualitative.
No, it's
that's okay.
quantitative.
Quantitative.
Yeah, that's never what it's about. Art's
Yeah.
never been about that, and I think we've really drifted into that a little bit. Or a lot. Honestly.
A lot.
But it's never too late. I'm an optimist. Like, I think a lot of people feel this way, so why not shift back into the middle a little bit?
I think so. I think you're in good company there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of this round of questions. We're gonna go back to the library now. Thank you so much for bearing with us. If you love this, oh my god, you probably don't, because there's so much noise. Maybe we'll do it again. Okay, thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, we finish every episode with a quick little game.
Awesome.
So you have an EP called Ink, right? Or it's
single. Yeah.
Okay. And the artwork for that is based on tattoos, right?
My tattoos, yes.
So we're doing fact or fiction tattoo styles. So you can look at the screen now.
Whoa, what?
Yes, I
I'll see
tried.
your tattoo effects.
Yeah, they're pretty
I
great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'm gonna read a phrase to you. You have to say if it is a style of tattooing or something else. So if something else is beauty and fashion, it's not anything crazy.
Okay.
But I have faith in you.
Oh no, I have no faith in myself.
New school.
Tattoo.
Correct. It's
Okay.
tattoo.
All right. Whoa, look at that.
Geometric.
Tattoo.
Correct.
All right.
Geometric.
Okay.
Balayage.
Okay, I know that's a beauty thing, right?
Yes, it is. It's a hair thing.
It's a hair thing.
Neo-traditional.
Tattoo.
Yes, tattoo.
Nice.
Stippling.
Beauty?
Yeah, it's a type of makeup application with a brush.
What do you know?
Pin tuck.
I'm gonna go beauty again.
It's a style of sewing, and fashion.
Okay.
Yeah. Watercolor.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Nice. Whoa, those are beautiful.
Pret-a-porter, which is not how it's pronounced, but... Ooh, well...
Ooh,
Pret-a-porter.
I was gonna say not tattoo.
Not tattoos.
I was like, I haven't heard of that
It literally
tattoo.
means off the rack. Underpaint or underpainting.
Tattoo.
Okay, so...
Oh, it's a drink.
Yes, it's a makeup style where you paint like the...
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cybersigillism.
Tattoo.
Yes, tattoo.
That's cool.
Undercut.
A hair thing.
Hair!
Yes. I know the hair. I know the undercut.
A-line.
Tattoo.
It's a style of silhouette.
Whoa,
in
I
dresses.
thought it was gonna be like fine line.
No,
Part of the
yeah.
Fine line family.
No.
Just a bunch of A's everywhere.
Yeah, no, that'd be so stupid. I love that. Just A's.
Trash polka.
Trash polka.
Would be like a bad jig. Maybe tattoo.
It is. It's this red and black style of tattooing.
Wow.
That was the only obscure one I could find. I usually try to have like a few obscure ones in there.
Yeah,
That
that's
is the
really
only
good.
one.
Wow.
Airbrush.
I mean, I guess it could be tattoo.
It's fake tattooing.
Okay. Okay, so my reaction was pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a trick question. Pointillism.
Tattoo.
Yes,
Okay.
tattoo. You did really, really
Whoa,
well.
look at that.
So as a thank you for coming on the show.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yes, everyone gets a prize. I got you
Okay.
this coloring book and some pencils.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love the cozy corner.
I literally don't know if I've ever heard of it
No,
before.
this is great. I have a different one that I was kind of getting bored of. This is great.
Well, great. Okay.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Thank you for
I really
coming.
enjoy this. Thank you for having me. That's awesome.
Hey everyone, this is Editing Emily. First of all, if you made it to the end of the episode, thank you so much for bearing with us. I know it was a little bit chaotic, but we had a lot of fun. A massive thank you to the team at the Underhill in Brooklyn for being so cool and letting us record there. And if you're ever in Hios, stop by the Tulipa Hotel. It looked really beautiful and I definitely want to go. With all the chaos, Aria wasn't able to give you their socials, so I'm just going to do that now. They are Aria Sings Tunes on all social media, one word. So be sure to give them a follow and we will see you back here next time. Thanks.
'Cause hot girls always win.
Thanks for listening to Emily Spins It, presented by the Indie Music Network and Not Dead Yet Media. This episode was produced by Heather de Armas and edited by me, Emily Mills. Our intro and outro music is Hot Girls Always Win by Really Blonde. If you've enjoyed the episode, please support the podcast by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review. You can also follow the show on Instagram and YouTube at Emily Spins It. For more shows about breaking through the noise, head over to the Indie Music Network podcast. If you have questions or feedback, contact us at notdeadyetmedia.com/contact.